His wallet was thick. When he fetched it from the inside pocket of his suit jacket to pay his bar tab, it was the first thing I noticed. That it was thick and made of an expensive leather, which told me everything I needed to know as far as tonight's mission was concerned. I'd stopped at this particular hotel bar for one thing, and one thing only. Gotten dressed in something especially sexy with those same intentions in mind. And with the thumbing of each $100 bill from the stack he'd pulled from his thickened wallet, he'd unknowingly become that one thing. My prey. It helped that he was handsome enough, or rather, so handsome that I might have given him my attention even without the leftover cash I planned to make mine by the end of our encounter. With his neatly tailored designer suit that told me he had the maturity to care about such a thing, and big, expressive eyes that somehow spoke to his youth, meaning he was young and dumb enough to fall for my performed naivete. Honestly, the age never mattered. In fact, it was often the older ones who were so full of themselves that they missed the obvious signs of my plans to make what was theirs my own, feeling so confident to the point of becoming sloppy in how they conducted themselves. They'd drink. A lot. They'd push how far they could go with physical touch and find comfort in the interaction when I didn't immediately remove their hand from my thigh. And for whatever reason, they truly believed my fine ass wanted to fuck them, basking in the falsified compliments I knew drove their ego insanely high to the point of feeling invincible. That's all it took. A little touching, multiplied by a mean ego stroke, for them to leave their wallet unguarded, to leave their jewelry on the dresser, to tell me personal shit I could later use against them to get whatever I wanted. But oftentimes, I didn't even need to finesse the situation since these same men thrived on having enough cash to pay me for my company, even the most powerful recognizing their money as their only selling point, the only thing that made them even remotely attractive. Tonight's prey was different, though. He had the money and the looks, a combination that almost made my pussy forget she had an unaffordable price tag. In fact, the longer I stared at his golden brown skin, his bushy eyebrows, and his perfect smile that was only accentuated by a light layer of facial hair coating his strong jawline, the more I wished we could have met under different, more honest circumstances. Unfortunately, it was far too late for that now. I was already in character as I sipped from my cute, colorful, non-alcoholic drink that I'd intentionally had poured into a martini glass, my gaze trained on my target until I caught his eye. And once I did, I gave just enough of a smile for him to give a nod of acknowledgement in response, being nonchalant about it as I returned my attention to the bartender so that I could ask for the check I knew I wouldn't be paying for myself. Like clockwork, because no matter how much finer he was than my usual marks, he still behaved all the same. The man made his way over to where I was seated, not bothering to ask if the seat next to mine was taken before he claimed it as his own. And once I went to reach for the billfold the bartender had dropped off in front of me, the man interjected. "Let me take care of that for you." Smirking, I glanced his way just slightly as I slipped my virtually anonymous prepaid card into the fold while telling him, "I don't order drinks I can't afford." "Mr. Call me Key. And you are?" "L," I answered, giving him one of the many nicknames I used with strangers, since the last thing I needed was for these people to be able to look me up when it was all said and done. And since it was clear that Key wasn't giving me full name privileges either, I had a feeling he wouldn't be bothered by it. A look of intrigue on his face when he replied, "Al, I like that for you."